big story from Karnataka, where a major terror attack has been averted in Bengaluru after an ISIS gang was busted in the state of Karnataka.
The kind of terror activity that they were planning, and more importantly, how they managed to procure these, who are their handlers. We have one name that's cropping up of one Junaid from Gujarat, who was arranging them ammunition and funding as well. On the other hand, you also have Nazir, who is currently lodged in Parapanagrara, who's another person that the Bengaluru police have arrested in an earlier terror case from Bengaluru.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan, and ladies and gentlemen, in less than 30 hours that they came into shape, the same faces in a brand new acronym and packaging. There are cracks emerging already. This committee of rivals who have joined ranks against a common nemesis, namely Prime Minister Narendra Modi, seems to have lofty narratives and projection, and they seem to have taken the social media by storm. But are the foundations shaky? Their quest is to make the Lok Sabha 2024 contest a 1:1 fight against the PM Modi-led BJP, so that the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi do not benefit with any split of the opposition vote. But Mr. Nitin Gadkari, an astute politician himself, told me at the CNN News 18 town hall, पॉलिटिक्स में 2+2 हमेशा 4 नहीं होता. In politics, 2+2 doesn't always make 4. Now, will that be the case this time around? Or is there a chance that this 2+2 actually makes an exponential 22 for this inclusive alliance that is ready to co-opt anybody who is against Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Let's put the rationale to the numbers test, purely from a Lok Sabha point of view. Let's try and understand this. Let's decode the vote share. Let's decode the vote share of both the BJP and this entire united opposition. First, 224 seats of the BJP. Let's look at the 2019 numbers, and we can zoom in a little closer and have a look at these numbers. This is 224 seats for the BJP with over 50% vote share. So where did they get these seats? Where the BJP had more than 50% vote share, the BJP winning candidate. UP 40 seats, Bihar 14, Madhya Pradesh 25, Maharashtra 15, Karnataka 22, Rajasthan 23, Gujarat 26. In all these Lok Sabha seats, the BJP had more than 50% vote share. Then, which are the other states that get added on? Haryana 9, Uttarakhand 5, Delhi 7, then there is Assam 7, West Bengal 5, Jharkhand 8, Chhattisgarh 6. In all these, Rajasthan 23. In all these states also, you had the BJP's got more than 50% vote share. Then add Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab, Chandigarh, Tripura and Goa. Now this is the entire spread of the BJP's candidates in 2019, where they had a 50% plus vote share. Now can this developmental alliance beat this? That's what we'll try and see. Let's try and see the vote share of the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance in 2019 Lok Sabha polls. Andhra Pradesh 1.58%, Arunachal Pradesh 21.22%, Assam 36.66%, Bihar 46.77%, Meghalaya 48.66%. You look at the entire spread. में पढ़ते पढ़ते बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा, but the only place where they seem to have a 50% plus vote share is Bengal, where it is 56.94%. The other place where they are close to a 50% vote share is Bihar with 46.77%. And of course, down south, this one, Kerala, it's a left domination, so 79%. So these are the three. Then of course, and then there is Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, which 53 and 57. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the 4 states where they have more than 50% vote share or overwhelming strength And then, of course, there is Bihar, which is near about 50%. But will that stay? We'll have to see. So you see the challenge for this developmental inclusive alliance. To get to that 50% vote share, this committee right now itself is not there. Now let us decode which alliance has an edge over the other and how the numbers stack up. MPs with 50% vote share, the NDA, 241 seats. This developmental inclusive alliance, 68 seats. MPs with 35 to 40% vote share, the NDA, 35 seats. The developmental inclusive alliance, 88 seats. MPs with 70% plus vote share, the NDA has 5 and this developmental inclusive alliance, 0. MPs with less than 35% vote share, NDA 2 and the newly brought together alliance 5. Candidates who lost their deposits, NDA 130, this developmental inclusive alliance 422. Average age of the winners, the NDA is 54 years, the developmental inclusive alliance is 56 years. Average age of candidates, NDA is 53 years, developmental inclusive alliance 54. So it doesn't separate much. Losing candidates of the Shiv Sena and the NCP have not been included here. Seats won with greater than 2% vote share, 2% victory margin. NDA 10, the alliance 9. Seats won with greater than 5% victory margin, NDA 24, Developmental Alliance 15. The percentage of women contestants, the Developmental Inclusive Alliance has a 2.24% greater presence. The percentage of women winning candidates, well, it's almost the same, 13.51, 13.28. Percentage of candidates below 40, 11.26, 20.4. Percentage of candidates above 70, 2.56, 8.87. Again, candidates of the Shiv Sena and NCP not been included. We can't break it down on the basis of numbers in terms of 2019. But even as this opposition is uniting, the battle of the state level continues. Congress versus left versus Trinamool in West Bengal, Congress versus left in Kerala, Congress versus left Trinamool fight in Tripura, Congress versus AAP fight in Delhi and Punjab. आपस में इधर इन सारे critical states में लड़ रहे हैं. So how are they going to agree on this? Now, 2024, not easy, because like-minded parties will fight challenges from within itself and they will emerge as a challenger for the NDA. Let's see, what are the strengths? They will avoid vote splitting against the BJP, dent the BJP in states like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where their fortunes, it's very important for them to do well. And of course in Bihar, top regional faces part of the unity bid. The weakness, no leader to counter Modi ji's popularity. Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as an MP looms large, even though that matter will be heard by the Honorable Supreme Court in this month itself. National unity versus state level fights, self-interest and ideological differences, and except Modi hatao, no common agenda. Top opposition leaders face graft allegations too. And in 30 hours, look at this, 3 conflict positions already. Credit war over this I.N.D.I.A. ये idea किसका था? Credit war. Who will be the PM चेहरा? Again, there is a conflict there. And who will be the convener? कहा जा रहा है बिहार CM actually walked out, even though he said हमें कोई convener नहीं बनना है. But did he go there thinking he will get that kind of a bhav and he didn't get it? So is he already upset? All of these issues remain. Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, Anand Ranganathan, author with us and political analyst with us, and Sanjay Jha, political analyst. Namaste, gentlemen. Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much. Over the course of the next 25 to 30 minutes, you will do the talking. I have done my bit in the first 8 minutes. Now, Sanjay Jha, let me ask you. Cracks already appearing. Is the foundation very shaky? Will these conflict issues already go? There are people saying, पंजाब में आप छोड़ दीजिए, opposition क्यों है कांग्रेस? Because आप तो अब साथ में हैं. आप developmental inclusive alliance है. Why are you there in Punjab? What are you going to do in Delhi with the AAP? Many questions being asked. But my larger question to you, Sanjay ji, is, has the Congress given up on this chance of a revival by opting for survival? Let's start from there. Your thoughts.
Anand, good evening. I think first and foremost, a kind request. You have 2 people who are likely to be supporting the other side of the argument. And since I'm going to be, batting for India, I'm fighting for India here today. And I say so very proudly, not for Pakistan. then I do believe that you will give us an equal amount of space and opportunity. In simple words, Anand, I can understand that the BJP is rattled and is trying extremely hard to try and make India look weak. But boss, India ko koi nahi rok sakta. Bhajpa tried to stop the India story from happening prior to 1947 with his ideological mentors who supported the British. Ab aap India ko rok nahi payenge. Now let me answer your fundamental question. What we are seeing over the last 10 years is what I call, Anand, as a lost and a dark decade of India. We are socially ruptured, economically lopsided, and we are politically corrupted. I am going to say so. I can give you multiple examples. Mr. Modi's government from 2014 to 19 and 19 to 23, and now, of course, they will last till 24, is the most, in my opinion, corrupt, criminal, and communal government in India's political history. You know, Hindenburg called Adani the greatest con in corporate history. I would like to call the BJP the greatest con in political history. Couple of recent examples. The list is laundry long. I'm in fact writing a book on it as well. And this is an early heads up so that the BJP can tell publishers not to publish the book. Here's point number one. Look at Manipur. Fellow Indians who have been killed in Manipur in the northeast. You have a prime minister who is in France. Now look at the irony. In France, one young person was killed wrongly, and the media, the opposition, and the people questioned the government. And Macron, by the way, President Macron had to respond to it. In India, you have a prime minister who was missing in action. He campaigned in Karnataka. He goes to America to, wine and dine and, kind of campaign, as Nirmala Sitharaman said, he was campaigning in the US. He goes to France. He has no time for Manipur. He doesn't have a word for his own fellow citizens who are dying. It's ridiculous. And, let me tell you, Anand, you are a seasoned veteran. All of us here, I think, have a very good understanding of politics. If a Congress Prime Minister did this, I would never, ever bat for that person. To see Narendra Modi do this is, in my opinion, a sad and a shameful episode in India's leadership conversations. Right. Point number two. Here you have a situation where Narendra Modi, I heard him yesterday. I mean, he was sounding bizarre and outrageous. He's talking of corruption. When he gives a lecture to the people in his constituency, that is a naturally corrupt party in the NCP. Chakki piecing. And guess what they do? They break Uddhav's party through Operation Lotus, and then they have a truck with the NCP in Maharashtra. Corruption, political morality. Is this what this government is all about? They are the biggest fake. The ultimate hypocrite in politics happens to be Narendra Modi. And a third example. You know what, Anand? I think all of us, you, Shehzad, Anand, I think all of us respect women of this country. I'll tell you what. I come from a home where I'm dominated by women. I have 2 daughters and a wife. And I can tell you something. Any individual, any political party or government that doesn't respect women deserves to be sitting not even in the opposition. I hope the BJP actually is sent packing off for the next 20 years till they learn how to respect women. What they've done with women wrestlers, what they did, the silence over Bilkis Banu, all that is a manifestation of the typical RSS BJP mindset. The paternalistic, misogynistic
Sanjay,
belief that
yield.
women's place is meant to be secondary in society.
See,
these are some recent examples. There are hundreds more.
I'll come
I can
back
talk
to you for
of
a
jobs,
rebuttal.
price rise, but let Anand and Shehzad speak.
Thank
and
you.
Debate.
Thank you. And we'll keep it, let's try and keep it civil. Everybody gets to say their piece.
Absolutely.
But one thing I have to say that Sanjay, Anand and how do you guys find the time to write? यहाँ अपना खुद का intro link देखने का time नहीं मिलता and I have to go off the cuff and extempore most of the times. And you people are writing books after books. Now you got one already and writing one more.
I'm suspended.
Plus you have the time to go into such long monologues and you got so many things to say. I'm just
Boss,
I just wish I could do that.
Every day,
But
Shehzad comes every day and says suspended. So I guess I have some luxury of that opportunity.
all right. Okay, Shahzad Punawala rebuttal and then Anand Ranga.
I only wish that my dear friend Sanjay was only suspended in status and not in logic. Because let me tell you why it seems convincingly that he's suspended in both status and logic. And Sanjay will extend the same courtesy to me and to my dear friend Anand Ranganathan, whose positions are never to be prejudged before they actually come out from his mouth. Now, first of all, Sanjay, just by putting India in your name doesn't mean कि चरित्र India वाला हो गया. For example, East India Company, the Britishers came using that name. Does not mean that they represented the interests of India. Just like your fellow person, MLA from the India group, so-called India group, Mr. Abu Azmi today said, I will not say Vande Mataram. Ye pro-India hai, anti-India hai. 26/11 was called by Digvijay Singh, an attack not by Pakistan, but an attack by Hindus on this land of Mumbai where you come from. It was pro-India or anti-India. Who questioned surgical strike? Who questioned Balakot airstrike? And who doubted the braves in Galwan? So all these things continue to make you anti-India, no matter what label you take. It's like 26 chor. They say हम आज से पुलिस, and they start saying कि अभी हम ही पुलिस बन चुके हैं. चोर अपने आप को कितना भी पुलिस बुला ले या गधा अपने आप को कितना भी घोड़ा बना दे, वो घोड़े की तरह नहीं भागता, वो पुलिस का काम नहीं करता. अब आते एक एक करके मुद्दे पर. First, now Sanjay Jha has said corruption, most corrupt government. Sir, you are an alliance of 26 parties. One is convicted corrupt RJD, conviction से corrupt Congress Party, National Herald, convincingly corrupt DMK, dirty money किसका हर रोज एक किस्सा निकल रहा है. Then you have conveniently corrupt TMC, SSC scam by the courts, and conditionally corrupt. मतलब my corruption is good corruption, everyone else's corruption is bad corruption. Aam Aadmi Party, which your Congress leaders said Manish Sisodia was convincingly corrupt at one point of time. Now you must have changed the stand. No problem. It is in politics. This is all allowed. Secondly, he said communal. Sanjay, how many times I have shown you the statement of your namesake, Sanjay Raut? Here is that statement. Muslims' voting rights should be revoked, says Sanjay Raut. And Sanjay Jha is come with Sanjay Raut saving the rights of minorities and talking about communalism. By the way, talking about communalism, Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, Meerut, Malyana, Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Jalgaon, Delhi, all of this took place under Congress's watch, and at that time the Prime Minister should have kept quiet. But he said, "Bada ped girta hai, to dharti hilti hai." This was the justification of the 1984 massacre. And Sanjay, you as a Mumbaikar suffered in the Mumbai riots. Your families and your friends must have suffered. You all had blamed Babasaheb Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray. Today you are with the same Uddhav Thackeray, but you are lecturing us. Chaliye, hota hai ye. On women's rights, I will just say that Anand Ranganathan and Anand Narasimhan both know of a singer called Chinmay Shripada. Here the case has taken place and the case has gone to the court and the charge sheet has been filed. But Chinmay Shripada has accused Varai Muttu of raping and molesting 17 women. And instead of taking action or filing FIR, the Chief Minister goes and patronizes him. So you please tell us, Sanjay ji, where is that one single tweet from Priyanka Vadra? And by the way, a 19-year-old Dalit girl was killed and murdered and acid was thrown on her and she was thrown into a well. Where was Priyanka Vadra in Rajasthan? Nowhere to be found. Today, forget everything else. Forget uniting the country. Unite your people. Unite your alliance. Here, Communist Party leader Brinda Karat says TMC has stifled and killed democracy in Bengal. Now you tell me you're saving democracy in India with the killer of democracy in West Bengal. Forget her. Sitaram Yechuri, same statement. Then Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, same statement that she is the murderer of democracy in Bengal. And Suman Roy Chaudhary, a similar leader like you in West Bengal, had said that you are having dinner with the murderers of Bengalis and you are saying you are saving democracy. Sanjay Jha, bas itna bata dijiye ki was democracy saved in Bengal? Was Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary right? Or is now Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi right? You tell us. Please tell us about that.
Anand, can I quickly respond to him?
Okay. 2 minutes and then Anand Ranganathan. Since Sanjay Jha is the only opposition voice, so you'll have to yield, Anand, please. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. Anand, I won't take too long. I mean, I would love to hear what you say as well. Number one, I mean, you know something, Shahzad? You are a party that sided with the British. So you are today naturally inspired by them to follow the British policy of divide and rule. That's how the British ruled over India. So I would like to call you the British Janata Party. You have divided India just like the way the British did. And I can tell you, no wonder you never fought for the freedom struggle of this country. Quit India movement का तो आप spelling भी नहीं जानते हैं. दूसरी बात, don't talk of riots, boss. Pradhanmantri and the 2002 riots and the BBC documentary. If everything is a clean sheet, my dear friend, why is your party so scared to show the BBC documentary to all the fellow Indians? Let them know what Babu Bajrangi had to say as to who got him out of bail and who used influence on the judiciary. That is how India's institutions have got corrupted. I have seen the documentary. Point number 3, you talk of corruption. Does the Prime Minister have the guts to address the Adani issue? And by the way, let me tell you that one more thing. Who funds you in electoral bonds? And my dear friend, what is this great washing machine? You guys have overtaken Samsung, LG and IFB Bosch. You are today, anybody who joins your party overnight becomes bilkul dhula hua. Ye kaise hota hai yaar? How does this magical transformation happen? It is a sign of your corruption. You know, Amit Shah has started an MLA stock exchange of India. It's a morality question. You mock the people of this country that a guy votes for one party, BJP buys them out.
All right.
You insult the people
Sanjay,
of India.
you'll have to yield, sir.
And my last point.
Yeah.
ED, CBI, income tax, always against opposition leaders. And I can tell you today, if you had the courage to let even the media be free, I can tell you for now, your government would have been history.
Anand, are you not free? Anand, are you not free?
Like I said, I'm going to limit my talk time till Anand Ranganathan speaks.
Exactly.
And then I will come back to all that has been said so far. But yes, Anand, go ahead, please. Thank you for your patience.
Good evening. Not at all. It's been an absolutely scintillating debate and in great humor. And I have to say this, that, you know, अगर नाम change करने से नीयत change हो जाती तो दुनिया नहीं रहती. So if my good friend Sanjay Jha, if my good friend Sanjay Jha would suddenly change his name to Prakash Jha, he wouldn't become a filmmaker. Or Behral, you know, there are two Anands in this debate. Thank God there aren't two Jhas here, so it's only Jha one. But Anand, there are 2 points I'd like to make. And the larger issues, you've come up with some brilliant comparative data, and Shehzad has also talked about brilliantly about outing the hypocrisy. And I have to say, Sanjay has also talked about brilliantly about outing the hypocrisy of the BJP. So ye chal raha hai inka. But I want to make 2 points. Number one, let's be very clear about one thing. India or NDA. If this was a US-style presidential election, it's game over. As Rahul Gandhi says, Tata, Khatam, bye-bye. Modi would have won hands down, eyes closed. But it is not. So BJP is rightly worried because to beat anti-incumbency twice over, to win 3 times is not very easy. So what does it boil down to? Number one, foremost it boils down to the trust that people will have away from the figures. And I dare say, I'm not being patronizing towards my fellow citizens, but Anand, the fact is, you know it as well as I do, that people don't really go by all the amazing statistics that you've given when they're voting. They go by 2 things. Number one, they go by trust, foremost. And number 2, they go by analyzing the opposition and judging the opposition on various parameters. The first one would be, I'll come to that later, but let's talk about trust. So it is trusting any one of those 26 leaders versus trusting Modi. Let me give you just 3 examples of what Modi has done as far as collecting trust of Indians in the last 10 years. You remember 2018, 2019? Rahul Gandhi came up with this scheme called Nyay. It was basically, you can say, if you're being unkind, to bribe Indian citizens that a kind of universal basic income, मतलब आप काम भी नहीं करेंगे, हम आपको पैसे देंगे. Were Indians fooled by that? No. They voted overwhelmingly for Modi, in fact, more than 2014. Why? Because they trusted Modi. In this case, 2024, once in a century epidemic hit us. And what did Modi do? Modi managed to vaccinate us twice over within a year. ये छोटी बात नहीं है. 3 or 4 million people used to die every year because of household pollution. Modi gave 170 million cylinders. 52,000 rupees per household is being saved by every family because Modi has constructed 113 million toilets. Half the highways that have been made in the last 70 years have been actually made in the last 10 years. ये developments हैं जो दुनिया को दिख रहा है, Indians को दिख रहा है. That is why they're trusting Modi. Now number 2, let me come on the other aspect that people will judge who to vote. Now, it is a fact that Rahul Gandhi has said, and Sanjay will back me up on this. He's even agreed to what Rahul Gandhi said, that India, I'm quoting Rahul Gandhi, is not a nation. So he's wrong there because constitution says it is. But it is a union of states. So it follows that India will do well, according to Rahul Gandhi and according to everyone in Congress, if the states are doing well. Because if the states are doing well, then nation will do well. If the states are doing badly, and if you're quiet about it, then India will do badly. This is what people will perceive. Now let me give you 5 examples very quickly. Number 1, Congress wants to eradicate the dictatorship, autocracy, wants to save the life of democracy in India by teaming up in Bengal with TMC or teaming up with TMC that it says accuses of killing democracy in Bengal. What is the impression that people have? Ki you are quiet in Bengal, you are teaming up with the people you are accusing of killing democracy because you want to save democracy in India. Let's look at Punjab. Congress is teaming up with the people it is accusing of sectarianism and promoting Khalistanis. But it wants to eradicate sectarianism in India. People are looking at this. Let's look at Kerala. Congress wants to rid corruption in India by teaming up with CPIM, Pinarayi Vijayan, who it is accusing of 100 crore camera scam. I can go on and on. Bihar में सृजन scam accuse कर रहे हैं नीतीश कुमार को और कह रहे हैं हम sleaze free government देंगे इंडिया में. कश्मीर में betraying people, महबूबा मुफ्ती को कह रहे हैं. झारखंड में horse trading का केस लगा रहे हैं उस पे. दिल्ली में misgovernance of केजरीवाल, लेकिन वहां पे unity. तो ये दुनिया देख रही है कि what you want to project as a union of states, glorious functioning of states for glorious function of India, people are seeing through it because you've teamed up with exactly those people whom you are accusing of misgovernance, of terrorism, of sectarianism, of killing democracy. So these are the 2 issues. 1, trust in someone, Modi versus 26 leaders, and second, of hypocrisy of the opposition.
Well, you've outlined quite a few facts. My just one fact that absolutely befuddles me is जिस पार्टी ने आपको 2 स्टेट से साफ कर दिया, Delhi and Punjab, and they became a national party because of that. You are willing to sit next to them and get them on board and fight elections with them. And then you say, and then you're going to look at a revival. Sanjay ji, I'll come back.
That is still all right. Anand, that is still all right.
Anand,
because victory and defeat are part and parcel. Sanjay, just to answer that in 10 seconds, that's still all right. But you cannot accuse Bhagwant Maan of promoting sectarianism and Khalistanis in Punjab. You cannot accuse Kejriwal of misgovernance and scams and sheesh mahal in Delhi and team up with them for a glorious India. You can't do that.
So that's also not possible. Sanjay ji, I'll come back to you for a comprehensive response. Allow Shehzad, because he was waiting to rebut you also and he had something to say. And then I'll come to you. Yes.
You know, I can only describe the situation of Sanjay Jha in one poetry. कि एक चेहरे पर कितने चेहरे लगा लेते हैं लोग, भीतर की कड़वाहट पर बाहर से शहद का लेप लगा लेते हैं लोग. So see, Mr. Sanjay Jha must be so disturbed. First of all, after India UPA का अंतिम संस्कार हो गया, Sonia ji is no longer chairperson of UPA. Thirdly, those people till yesterday who Mr. Sanjay Jha was accusing of corruption, including Sisodia, has now suddenly become the paragon of virtue. So imagine the plight of Sanjay, that he has to now say that Kejriwal has been giving the best model of governance, Mr. Sisodia is no longer corrupt, and UPA chala gaya, but it's all okay.
But Shehzad, क्योंकि आप मेरे साथ स्टूडियो में है तो allow me this please. ये corruption वाला जो logic है ना, कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी भी
चलो
शुवेंदु अधिकारी नारदा स्कैम, ठीक है. अजीत पवार 70,000 करोड़ इरिगेशन स्कैम का है कि नहीं है ना. कितने सारे नेता हैं आपने जिनको आपने भ्रष्ट फिर आपकी तरफ आ गए तो अच्छा ये वॉशिंग मशीन वाला लॉजिक.
वॉशिंग मशीन, नाउ लेट मी आंसर दिस. जिनके घर में धोबी घाट हो, मतलब कि उद्धव जी ने वोट लिया हमारे साथ और चले गए कांग्रेस और एनसीपी के साथ, जिनको आजीवन बाला साहब ठाकरे ने गाली दी. फॉरगेट दैट इशू. आई एम सेइंग that let's go by what is the court procedure and court orders against people. And I know Mr. Anand Rangnathan will weigh in on this. I am saying court pronouncements are against whom? There is a court pronouncement, final conviction against Lalu Prasad Yadav. Can Mr. Sanjay Jha, for us to test that at least there is an objective standard, say that Lalu Prasad Yadav is a convicted corrupt?
I'm not
Forget the allegations, because Anand will say one allegation, you will say another allegation.
I'm holding you to your own standard.
My own standard.
With Sanjay Jha and the Congress Party, they cannot say anything about Ajit Pawar, because if they call Ajit Pawar corrupt, that means they agree that Sharad Pawar is also corrupt.
I'll tell you about
that. It all
that.
happened together at the same time. They can't sit next to Sharad Pawar and say, "Arey, you are sitting next to Ajit Pawar." That's the reality.
I'm glad you have given me this opportunity.
You as the BJP,
I'll tell you why.
You as the BJP called Ajit Pawar corrupt.
I'll tell you why.
You as the BJP
let me answer why. I understood your question. I'll tell you why. Uddhav ji was with us in 2014. Agreed? Uddhav ji had called Sharad Pawar Mahabhrashta. Because Uddhav ji was with us and he's our senior leader at that time, we accepted what he said. But then same Uddhav ji went and embraced NCP. So we are only following his lead. Now you tell me, Sanjay ji, was Uddhav ji wrong? Was Uddhav ji wrong? वो पहले जता बता दो।
कई चेहरे, एक चेहरे पे कई मुखौटे लगाते हैं लोग, लगा लेते हैं लोग।
जब चाहे नई दुनिया बसा लेते हैं लोग, ये
मौका मिला तो दुश्मन से भी हाथ मिला लेते हैं लोग।
यही तो
ये बात भी मानना पड़ेगा।
27 साल यूपी बेहाल, यूपी के 2 लड़के बन गए। डीएमके killed Rajiv Gandhi, today DMK is की ally। तो आई थिंक ये नई दुनिया बसा लेते हैं लोग। ये धोबी घाट किसके घर पर है, ये सबको दिखाई देता है।
देखिए, सरकार बनाने के लिए जहर भी कुछ निगल लेते हैं लोग, ये बात भी सही है। इसको तो असेंबली में, बिहार के विधानसभा के असेंबली में कबूल किया गया। बट संजय झा एक बात बताइए, ऑनेस्टली एज अ कांग्रेसमैन, डाई हार्ड, सस्पेंडेड, नॉन डिफरेंट, कांग्रेस ही तो आप हैं। डू यू थिंक आफ्टर डूइंग ऑल दैट मेहनत, भारत भ्रमण टू जोड़ो भारत, has the Congress wasted an opportunity by sitting in that committee?
Anand, not at all, and I'll tell you why. In the states where the BJP and the Congress are going to go head to head, the Congress is determined that it's going to actually score more of the seats. You will see the dramatic change starting with the winter elections in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Telangana, Mizoram. Rajasthan is the one state which is slightly iffy, but you see how it plays out.
पिछली बार आप राजस्थान कैसे जीते? पिछली बार आप मध्य प्रदेश कैसे जीते? I'm just saying, sir, state elections and especially in a BJP versus Congress fight, state election and Lok Sabha you cannot compare because कर्नाटक में आप कितने पिछली बार कैसे जीते थे? बट क्या लोकसभा में क्या हुआ? राजस्थान में भी आप जीते थे, लोकसभा में क्या हुआ? मध्य प्रदेश आप जीते, लोकसभा में क्या हुआ? I'm just saying, please don't compare state when it comes to BJP versus Congress. With other parties is a different equation, but BJP versus Congress is different. In fact, sir, in 200 seats, sorry to interrupt you, I'm just completing. In 200 seats in the Lok Sabha, BJP and Congress are actually head to head in across states, and you would know better. Shouldn't the Congress have said these 250 we are fighting on our own? We don't need you.
Yeah. So Anand, let me go ahead. Let me tell you this as a truth. The public mood has changed. There is a massive movement going to start, which is going to question a very, in my opinion, dysfunctional government, a failed government, a corrupt government, an incompetent government that has failed on price rise, on unemployment, on law and order, on governance, and really taken the people of this country for a jolly big ride. And I will tell you, 2019 will not repeat itself. Now I would say the entire chessboard has got a very different perspective. Point number two, Shehzad said something about, me being, kind of suspended, etc. But Shehzad, let me tell you, I'm very proud that I'm one politician in this country who has not left his party and has an ideological commitment. I'm not like you, Shehzad. I'm not like you, Shehzad, because
the party has left you. They find no use for you. It's not about me. People leaving the party. Party finds no use for you. You should consider what is wrong. But anyway, that's not the point. Party is finding no use for you.
Sanjay,
Anyway,
एक मिनट.
if party finds no use for you, it's not my fault.
The SNS, the ANA requests the SNS to just calm down.
No, but just one line.
One minute. I'm just saying. Tonight on my show, Shehzad did not say anything personal to you, sir. You said that he has said this to you in the past. So I'm just going to say, let's just keep it over to the larger discussion and let's be larger.
Just one line, in the interest of the debate being on the substantive issue. Just one line. On price rise, today we have 4.25% inflation rate. What was the inflation rate under Manmohan Singh? On unemployment, the unemployment rate in Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat is less than 2%. It is over 20% in Rajasthan.
I am coming back.
So please talk about facts. Talk about facts.
I'm coming back to the political aspect of it.
Anyway,
okay, yes, Sanjay ji, complete.
Wrap up my point.
No, Sanjay ji, complete. Yeah, please. Let's not get personal. We've had a great debate so far. Let's try and rise above.
Yeah, let's keep it clean because I don't have tweets I'm ashamed of, but if somebody's tweets were seen criticizing Modi and Shah, I think he will blush extremely red.
वो तो हो गया सर, जो बीत गई सो बात गई. अब तो पॉलिटिक्स में तो होता ही है. आप आगे बढ़िए. जी.
But Sanjay, my party is exceptionally okay with my past, but your party is not okay with your present. This is the difference. My party accepts my past. His party does not accept his present.
Let him come.
This is the difference between BJP and Congress.
Anand, if you add the unemployment, underemployment in India, the number is 16% or 15%. If you look at the number of people who are today
मैं
actually
वापस I'm
begging
going to
for
bring
jobs is astronomical.
मैं आपसे
Today people
I am asking
cannot
again.
afford basic
संजय जी
necessities for
आपका
living.
आपका ये सब
What is Mr. Modi's story?
No, correct.
There is nothing.
Sir, you please ask this. You please ask this question,
This government
Sanjay
has been a
ji.
monumental failure.
Sanjay
Their
ji.
only
Anand,
story
can I-
is
Sir,
Hindutva.
Sanjay ji,
Their
Sanjay ji.
only story is divide Hindus
Sanjay ji,
and
my
Muslims
question is very
and
simple.
Christians. That's all.
Sanjay ji, my question is very simple. Please, as opposition, you have every right and you it's your dharma to question the government and to hold the government accountable.
Sure.
My question,
Sure.
sir, my question very clearly, sir, is as a core Congress person, after the momentum the Congress claimed, the success in Karnataka, what you did in Bharat Jodo, cornered the conversation of the opposition once again came. Now you're sitting with 25 others and once again diluted yourselves to the extent saying कि हमें Prime Minister का पद भी नहीं चाहिए. Mallikarjun Kharge ji has come out and said that too. I'm just saying from a political party point of view, a Congress point of view, a decade later, do you find yourself at a place that you will come back and win 150, 200 seats today? Should you have gone for revival? Or what you have opted for now as survival? That's the strategy question I was asking you as a Congress.
Anand, the short answer to your question immediately is Congress is demonstrating leadership. And leadership is not about I, me, myself. You know, end of day, the Congress will be the largest out of the
when
entire
it comes
opposition
to
parties. But we want TMC to do well in West
No,
Bengal.
but point is, sir, in this case right now, in this case now, depending upon...
We want Uddhav to do well in Maharashtra.
No, sir, that's not
that is the kind of
Sir, what's
pragmatism
happening
and
is,
practical
बिहार में
understanding
मीटिंग
of
होगी तो
politics
नीतीश जी
Congress is
चमकेंगे.
bringing to the table.
सर, अभी ये ऐसा हो रहा है, बिहार में मीटिंग होगी तो नीतीश जी का चमकेंगे पोस्टर में, बंगाल में मीटिंग होगी तो ममता जी चमकेंगी, दिल्ली में मीटिंग होगी तो केजरीवाल चमकेंगे, अभी आज कर्नाटक में तो कांग्रेस चमक रहा है. This is what is happening. From a political party point of view, this is not something that you're going to, what you have endeavored in the last 12 to 14 months and what you have eventually done, you actually, it's gone down the drain. But anyway, how it manifests, we'll see.
Congress is being very
How it manifests, I'm just saying this is a point of view a lot of people have.
You let somebody else take charge.
Who are
Nothing
saying,
wrong.
who are saying, okay, Anand, yes, please.
No, very briefly, just couple of points. You know, I've battled this good-naturedly with Shehzad, I think about half a dozen times or more, so I'm not going to go down that road again. Because the fact of the matter is, Shehzad also knows, I also know that BJP is a washing machine. I mean, for heaven's sake, there are multiple cases that BJP inflicted. In fact, it wanted the arrest of one person who was accused under POCSO of child rape in Goa. That person then joined the BJP. There are so many instances. So it is truth, Shehzad. You can't. Otherwise, when you say, if somebody is not convicted, we are fine with that person joining. Tomorrow you will say, Rahul bhi aa jaye, Jagdish Titler bhi aa jaye. Aise nahi hota na. Why are you accusing these people?
But Rahul is
Where is he convicted? No, I'm talking about his corruption case. Okay, yes, multiple. But, you know, so that debate will go on. I have my view on this and I agree with Sanjay that yes, BJP is a washing machine and it is hypocritical when it says और लोग कर रहे हैं हम नहीं करते. That's another matter. And Shehzad remains a good friend. I want to clarify that. Number two, Sanjay Jha is a very good friend, but besides that, he is a doctor. He's got doctorate in economics. I want to ask him a very simple question. Sanjay, the CPI inflation right now is 4.8%. The WPI is minus 0.92%. When you were not suspended from Congress in 2013, please tell me, Dr. Sanjay Jha, what was the CPI inflation? Was it 12% or not? Yes or no?
Okay, let me answer your question. Link inflation to growth. Okay, Anand,
Now,
please remember,
you know,
inflation. 1 minute. 1 minute. Hear me out. You asked me a question. Let me explain that.
India is the fastest growing economy today.
Gentlemen,
I mean, this gentleman is suspended in more ways than one.
Gentlemen,
And look at the GDP growth during the UPA time. Compare it to NDA.
Gentlemen, 40
there is a
minutes.
World of difference.
Sir, 40 minutes on the show, and I have to say the most democratic debate because each person who's speaking has got a minimum of 9 minutes, which is very unusual in a debate. So you have to at least commend each other for allowing everybody to speak.
Fantastic.
It's been entertaining, very engaging, but I have to thank you. ये तो politics है, ये चक्करलस चलता रहेगा, आगे भी करेंगे, and I look forward to you joining us more often in the coming days. Taking a very short break. Anand Ranganathan stays on, but Shehzad Poonawalla and Sanjay Jha. Thank you very much. We take a very short break. When we come back, it's a module, a terror module that's been busted. Big arrests that have happened in Bangalore. But not just ISIS radicalism, but the ISI and the Lashkar connect. Clear and present. Stay with us.
possibly from Gujarat border or Punjab border. So we're getting you this exclusive information and a big piece of news that a major terror attack has been averted in Karnataka's Bengaluru after an ISIS gang was busted. Now, 5 suspects of a possible terror module were arrested yesterday in Bengaluru from various locations. Now, what all has been recovered? 4 walkie-talkies, 7 pistols, ammunition and other incriminating materials have been recovered. CNN News 18's Ritu is joining us to tell us more about it. Ritu, can you give us more details about this terror gang, this ISIS gang that has been busted in Karnataka?
So yes, CCB police here in Bengaluru have arrested 5 suspected terrorists yesterday, and in fact, what we are given to understand is that during the interrogation, and the accused have in fact also told the police that they were in touch with the person identified as T. Nazir, in fact, who is accused in the terror module. So they came in touch with him, and they were constantly in contact with him as well. So that's where this whole, in fact, the plan there started, and what we are also given to understand is that it was led by the person identified as Junaid. So he was leading the team, in fact, that we can really say at this point in time. So he was there helping out the other boys with the ammunitions and the other equipments or the explosive materials as well for their sinister plan, but needs to be seen now during the press conference when the Bengaluru Police Commissioner will be addressing the media. What more details have that the police been able to assimilate so far? That all will be put out as well. But yes, this is a major development that has taken place. Also, remember what exactly happened in the ISIS module case in the Shimoga district as well. There, the whole sinister plan was again been busted by the police, and we did see. However, that case right now is with the NIA. The NIA is investigating, and but yes, constantly that such incidents are actually often occurring from the state of Karnataka. Now the police is on foot to ensure that they get to burst such in fact modules at the earliest, and any such acts would really not be tolerated. So that's the reason we're getting to see the CCB police getting into an action at the right time when they got to know that the kind of plan that they were actually making. So police now trying to interrogate that where exactly they used to together meet and what kind of talks that they used to exchange as well, who others were also involved in it, because with the kind of seizure now being done with walkie-talkies and other materials being seized as well, police trying to understand that whom else they were in touch with, whether there was someone who was were in touch with outside the India as well, because we did see such things happening in the Shimoga module case as ISIS module case as well. So here police also trying to understand all those angles. Also another point needs to be seen of what age all these accused are in fact. Because in 2017, all these suspected terrorists were also accused of a murder case, and they were put in the Bengaluru Central Jail, where they came in touch with the person identified as T. Nazir, again, as said, accused of the terror module. So right after that, this whole plan of theirs started and had reached to a next level that police identified at right time and have actually arrested them from the different locations of Bengaluru. But as said, all that details will be out in some time now.
Also, Ritu, another important question that arises is that how were they in touch with T. Nazir, who is lodged in the Bengaluru Central Jail?
Well, what police is also saying is that because when in 2017, when all these suspected terrorists are now who've been arrested by the CCB were also put in the same jail where they came in contact with the T. Nazir. Now, that's the reason, as we are speaking about it, we need to see what police will be able to tell us that how exactly they came in touch with, how constantly they used to meet inside the jail as well, what were the kind of in fact, steps that were actually taken inside the jail to ensure that such accused actually don't get in touch with the other case accused as well, because that is again important point, and where they might land in a fault as well, because the police or that for that matter the prison department, the cops there again. So that needs to be seen of how actually they were getting in touch, and right after when they were also out, how they still continue to be in touch as well, how they used to get to talk to each other, the kind of information, whether there were other means of communication as well. So all that is actually going to be an interesting part of this particular case. But however, as said, you see, what will be more important also to understand is that who else were involved in this particular case, because in 2017, along with these five accused, there were others also who were actually mentioned in that particular murder case, and who were also put, there were few others who were also put in the jail, whether they were also in touch with these suspected terrorists as well. So yes, all that is now going to be revealed by the Bengaluru police from some time now.
All right, Ritu, thank you so much for giving us all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on this story. Now, shifting focus, a major terror attack has been averted in Bengaluru after an ISIS gang was busted in Karnataka. 5 suspects of a possible terror module were arrested yesterday in Bengaluru from various locations. 4 walkie-talkies, 7 pistols, ammunition and other incriminating materials were found. The suspects, during questioning, also disclosed that they were in touch with T. Nazir, who is a terror accused presently lodged in Bengaluru Central Jail. And according to top intel sources, this module was run by a person, Junaid, from Baku. Now, Junaid was in touch with ISIS.
Back on the right stand with news that a major terror attack and perhaps multiple strikes have been averted in Bengaluru after an ISIS module or ISIS-inspired module was busted in Karnataka. 5 suspects of this terror module were arrested in Bengaluru from various locations and have been sent to 15-day in police custody. These arrests happened on Tuesday. During the investigations, cops recovered pistols, ammunition and other incriminating material from the accused. The suspects, during questioning, also disclosed that they were in touch with Nazir, T. Nazir, a terror accused presently lodged in Bengaluru Central Jail, and cops are also revealing that the accused were radicalized by Nazir himself. They actually were targeted because a lot of them, almost all these accused, were petty criminals or accused of various other crimes, serious crimes, and then radicalized in jail. This module was being run by a person named Junaid, who's operating out of Azerbaijan, Baku, and all the accused met each other when they were lodged in Bengaluru jail. So this ISIS radicalism threat, not just clear and present in India, but the involvement of elements like the Lashkar and also the ISI, not very, very clearly delineated now. We decode that today, but first let's give you some more inside details. CNN News18 has been leading the coverage on this terror module. We broke the news first ahead of everyone else. Our group editor security, Manoj Gupta, getting us these details, along with, of course, our team down in Bengaluru about this module that was busted. Now, we bring to you some revelations that the cops have made in this case. The first revelation, that the 5 arrested have been for alleged links with the Islamic State and also somewhere connected with fomenting terror on Indian soil. Module run by Junaid from Baku in Azerbaijan. Junaid was in touch with Pak ISI and he had also sent across explosives, grenades and of course walkie-talkies and pistols and ammunition have been recovered. There was more that was going to be sent via the Punjab and Gujarat border. Ammunition delivered in 3 consignments were given to understand. The blast accused Nazir ran the operations from Bengaluru jail. All accused radicalized by Nazir inside prison. Accused received instructions from abroad, and Junaid sent 2 to 3 lakh via digital wallets. Intent was to attack a crowded place. That's also another revelation. The cops have filed an FIR and booked the accused under stringent UAPA Act. So who are the ISIS suspects in this case? Accused 1 is in Bengaluru jail. He is T. Nazir. Junaid is the second accused who's currently absconding. Suhail is the third accused who's been arrested. Umar is the fourth accused. Zahid is the 5th accused. Mudassar is the 6th accused. Fazil is accused number 7. So 1 in jail, 5 arrested, 1 absconding, and that's Junaid. How are they all connected? Now we are connecting the dots. People and plan of the Bengaluru terror model goes back to 2010 when the prime accused Nazir was arrested in the 2008 Bengaluru serial blast case. Ever since, he's been lodged in the Bengaluru Central Prison or the Parapana Agrahara and is facing trial in 19 cases including bomb blasts. Then in 2017, Junaid was arrested in a murder case and was in the same Parapana Agrahara, sent to this jail. 5 arrested in the terror module case were part of 21 people who were arrested in a murder case in which the prime accused was Junaid. Police believe that T. Nazir radicalized Junaid and the 5 others inside prison. In 2021, Junaid and 5 others got bail. Junaid jumps bail, suspected to be in the Gulf or somewhere in that region, Azerbaijan and Baku. Junaid got in touch with 5 other accused who are out on bail doing petty jobs in Bengaluru, and they all come together and plan this terror attack. The Bengaluru police arresting 5, seizing explosives, pistols from them. Accused are said to be in touch with Lashkar operatives. Now, this is not the first one that's been exposed. NIA, Intel, the entire security machinery, internal security machinery is being working round the clock to avert any terror plot and bust these modules. And several outfits have now been exposed. In May, 16 people arrested for alleged links with Hizbul Tahrir. Madhya Pradesh Police revealed that they wanted to topple India's democratic system. June, Gujarat ATS busting the Islamic State of Khorasan province module, arresting 3 men and a woman in operations carried out in Porbandar and Surat. In July, NIA busting a Maharashtra-based ISIS module, 4 arrested, allegedly promoting terrorist activities at the behest of proscribed outfit. And in Karnataka, crime branch busting another module, arresting 5 people, 1 is absconding. More news coming through, explosive details of this ISIS module coming through. Our group in editor security, Manoj Gupta, getting us these details. The investigations and technical assessment, it's found that Junaid is the kingpin of this sinister plan. He was working on targets and plan on behalf of ISI from Baku in Azerbaijan. Security establishments are assessing that whether it's only Junaid who roped Nazir from jail. According to the initial plan accessed by the agencies, they wanted to do targeted killings and also IED-based blasts. Sources also reveal more arrests are likely to happen in the coming days. Anand Ranganathan stays on with us, but first going across to former DGP Karnataka, ST Ramesh ji. ST Ramesh ji, namaskaram. Thank you very, very much. So this radicalizing in jail and these modules operating out of jail, this seems to be a common modus operandi. Pan-India, sir.
I have to agree with you, because prisons are cesspools where the first-time offenders become more hardened criminals, conspiracies are hatched, and even sometimes crimes are committed from inside the prison, because if they unfortunately if the prison security is lax and they have access to mobile phones and so on and so forth. And this is a very typical case that, as you report, that the 5 accused who have been apprehended by Bengaluru police have been radicalized in the prison. This happens. This is to be expected, because the kind of prisons we have, the overcrowding we have, the kind of inability to separate different categories of prisoners, from convicts to under trials, and different categories of convicts and different categories of under trial prisoners, is a very important thing, so that they don't come in contact and they plan and conspire to commit bigger crimes.
But Rameshji, are you worried that this could mean, because the cops, the security establishment has to get it right 10 on 10. The terrorists can fail 9 times, they get it right once, they can cause a lot of mayhem.
Yeah, it's always been a challenge for the police to keep track and preempt such things. I must, with no hesitation, unambiguously congratulate the Bangalore City Police for this remarkable proactive work. It is only proactive policing which can result in this kind of preemptive strikes. And they have been able to set up informants, they have a good intelligence network through which they have been able to apprehend before they could cause any damage. So that's a very important thing, and I'm sure in this 15 days of police custody, effective interrogation will be done, and more information will unravel after effective interrogation, and we will be able to get more information and go to the root of the problem.
Anand Ranganathan, a 5-hour delay irks a lordship, but a 19-year-old delay in cases and under trials still sitting there radicalizing other people is something that escapes everyone's attention.
No doubt, Anand. First of all, thank you for breaking this news. And I must, like my fellow esteemed panelists, congratulate our intelligence agencies and Bangalore police especially for arresting these, as you said, ISIS-linked terrorists in the nick of time. They have averted a major terror attack in Bengaluru. But as the saying goes, and as you mentioned it, the security agencies have to be right every time. The terrorists only once. Anand, in January 2020, Bangalore police arrested 6 SDPI men who, for mere 10,000 each, plotted to kill the young BJP MP Tejasvi Surya because of his pro-CAA stand. They in fact came to kill him at a rally, but couldn't. So nearly killed an RSS worker instead. SDPI is the other side of PFI, but it took 8 years even for the present government to ban the PFI. In spite of documented proof that the PFI is neck deep in acts of terror, bomb making, training camps, political murders, links with Al-Qaeda. Anand, the tragedy is that the Indian state sadly buckles when it comes to terrorism because of appeasement, placating a vote bank, or plain fear of being branded Islamophobic. And this is true especially for Congress. Do they have the guts to say terrorism has a religion? Kashmir is a living example of this. They might even certify that the slogan shouted on the night of January 19, 1990 from the top of mosques, Ralif, Salif, Galif, deaths to Kafirs, Pandit, leave your women behind, convert, run or die, Nizam-e-Mustafa, had nothing to do with religion. Air Chief Dhanoa is on record saying that the Indian Air Force wanted to bomb terror hideouts in Pakistan in the wake of 26/11, but was forbidden to do so by Manmohan Singh. India rewarding Pakistan for the 2008 attack on our embassy in Kabul by capitulating miserably in the Sharm el-Sheikh declaration. Tens of thousands attending the funeral of terrorists Yaqub Memon and Burhan Wani. The mainstreaming of PFI by being awarded by vice presidents. Sonia Gandhi crying tears of sorrow after the Batla House encounter. Terrorist Yasin Malik celebrated by India's Prime Minister. I can go on, Anand, and let us be clear on one thing. Poverty or illiteracy have got nothing to do with fundamentalism. Fundamentals have. You can be educated from Harvard or IIT and still blow up the World Trade Center or charge at the Gorakhnath temple shouting Allahu Akbar. Please understand, there is nothing called radicalization or radical Islam. If tomorrow I read Leninger chapter and verse, will I be called a radical biochemist? But our politicians don't have the courage to admit this. On the other hand, they have ample courage to brand Hinduism as a terrorist religion, to hail Aurangzeb who killed 4.6 million Hindus, to coin the phrase saffron terror. Anand, just 20 seconds. In a way, I am glad that these terrorists have been caught before they perpetrated the act, because had they been caught in the act, they might have been wearing the Hindu sacred thread Kalava, so that our politicians could then have branded the entire act as perpetrated by Hindus or as an RSS conspiracy, exactly what they did in the wake of 26/11.
See, you make a lot of points, you make a lot of valid points, and some of them are a serious concern also, Anand Ranganathan. But I'm just going to direct this back to Ramesh ji and ask him this: what is it that motivates this lot to go ahead and be as radical as they are? Are those who are into petty crimes easier fodder? Because in other modules we have seen, like Anand pointed out, educated individuals. People who are postgraduates, people who are engineers, people who are mechanical engineers to a certain extent, who knew this craft. Is there a way to counter this radicalism? And as enforcers of the law, do you have the law on your side when you want to catch somebody before they commit the act? Or do you get trapped there also by the law? Because they say you have not committed a crime, so how can you arrest them? How can you just claim somebody is radical and can do something and put them behind bars? Is that a challenge for you, Ramesh ji?
You have posed a lot of questions. I'll stick to professional areas of policing and the challenges that police faces, and probably respond to some of the points you mentioned about radicalization and so on and so on. Yes, it's a challenge. Our legal system and our laws, criminal law, CRPC, IPC, Evidence Act, and even the UAPI, suffer from several lacunas. That's a separate debate. We can have a separate discussion on what problems police face and etc. I'm happy that the judge, whoever the magistrate before whom these 5 accused were produced, has provided the maximum police custody. He has given 15 days of police custody, which is the maximum available under the Criminal Procedure Code. And this is some substantial, some comfortable period to interrogate and get at the root of it, because interrogation is a very, very back-breaking job, and it's not it just cannot be done in an hour or two or even a day or two. So agreed that there are a lot of challenges in our legal system in getting custody, in getting because people also get bail, so to prevent bail from being given, so that they can be kept inside, so that they don't come out, they are not free to commit crimes as free citizens. So all these are challenges, and getting a conviction, which figures in various debates and panel discussions, why the conviction is so low. Our criminal justice system has a lot of problems, the delay being one thing, delay being just one of these several problems in our criminal justice system. So there is a litany of problems which you can go on and on and on. So there are challenges. Let us suffice it to say that there are huge challenges which the security agencies, the police face while tackling such cases. Now, when you make a preemptive strike like this, the problem of proving that they were planning to make some strikes and cause huge damage, etc. Of course, fortunately, they have seized a lot of ammunition, some country weapons, and etc. etc. So this will be a good piece of evidence to prove to the court that they were planning something very big. We don't know. The interrogation will unravel those details. So there is a challenge, huge challenge, and it's a day-to-day problem for the police, from small crime to big crime,
Right.
from small common law offences to terrorist offences. The challenge of bringing the culprits to book under the existing laws and making a concrete case before the courts and securing a conviction subsequently. These are all a series of challenges which police has been facing for a very long time and continues to. The position is the same even today. You mentioned about radicalization. There has to be a very major criticism. Debates on TV channels are all fine. But when we recognize the problem, that radicalization is a reality, not only in India. This problem is not peculiar to India alone. It is a global problem.
Rameshji, I have to interrupt you. I have run out of time on the show, sir. So, but we will take this conversation forward. We've proven here on our channel that this is a real point. Sir, I have run out of time. With sincere apologies, but the promise that we'll get you back soon. Thank you very much. I have to wind up. Zakir Reddy with Brass Tacks. Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. So the alliances are now well and truly settling down. You have the India alliance of 26 parties on the one side and the new and improved NDA alliance with 38